feels really weird for me. I just wanted to say thank you. Good day, beloved. Thank you for your happy birthday greetings, everybody. Much love to you. It's Groundhog's Day. It's my birthday. Today was really weird. I did not feel my age at all. I'm trying to feel my age, like there's something wrong with me. Like, what does that feel like anyway? I keep asking people what they feel like, and I'm hearing all these different things and I'm seeing, but actually, I was going through a lot of the things that people are feeling at their age now when I was in my 20s, as a child. I was always having these weird illnesses, like not feeling well without any explanation as to why. Uh, like the only thing I can say that's really new for me is the teeth thing, you know. Um, yeah, I think that has to do with calcium and the bombardment of the ultrasonic weapons, the sound and noise technology being aimed at me. You know, a lot of the microwaves. Sometimes you find yourself biting down on your teeth, or just kind of like you're scrunched up, you know. And you really have to do a lot. It's like you have to do a lot just to wring yourself out, just so you can like unspring from this to get to where, you know, even I am right now. So that is probably the only thing that I could say is different. But I wish I had brought my picture up here. Yeah, I really don't see too many differences in me. I had early female balding in my 20s, which I now believe is part of the gang stalking program, the targeted individual program. You know, again, the microwaves and stuff with the hair loss, things that I couldn't explain before. Like I had a partial facial paralysis at one time too. This side of my face is different than this side of my face. But at one time it was really like, you could ask my sister. Yeah, my face was just like really like, I woke up one day and my whole side was jammed up. And went to the doctor and I was like, did I have a stroke? No, there's no sign of stroke. We don't know why it happened to you, but yet you have partial facial paralysis. Same thing with post-traumatic brain syndrome, or post-traumatic brain injury, where I had lost part of mobility to my body and was in excruciating amount of pain, and I was using a cane. Now this is in my 20s and 30s. Overweight at one point, on all the medications they told me to take through via system, the good doctors. And I had no idea that I was a part of this targeted individual program for the special people. Those are thinking people. As different people. As people like to step outside the line. So I even had a morphine pump in my body and had that removed. And I had osteo and rheumatoid, which I learned is so much more controllable when I don't eat sugar. So if ever I cramp up, I instantly know that it's because I ate too much candy. I had too much white sugar immediately. And it takes, you know, after a point of not eating it, it took a lot it takes a lot of eating it to like make your body kind of toxic, you know, to where it would affect your what do you call it? Stuff that you take turmeric root for, you know, inflammation. Okay, the sugar can cause inflammation. So I'm a lot more lax now with my foods and the things that I was doing. I was like, wow, I'm not drinking as much water as I should, and I need to drink much more water. And I need to eat a lot more raw foods. Although I'm a vegetarian, I still can eat a lot more raw foods. I like to eat a lot of cooked vegetables and stuff. I love hot food in my mouth, and I'm still a little bit of a slave to my taste buds. And I would like to grow up there in a way where I have this consciousness with my body where, okay, yeah, you're fabulous and all, and you don't look, you know, good stock, okay? However, we want to keep it like that, and I want to show my body that I appreciate it and show more discipline. Yeah, definitely show the appreciation. One thing I started to do, see, I had all these problems with my body, and I felt so insecure. This is in my 20s and 30s. I was doing the work. I had already broke down and the system failed me. I already told you I had the morphine pump in my body. I had this freaking... I lied once and said one garbage bag, like, you know, the brown paper bag that they give you at the grocery stores, for the month, full of narcotic medication just to manage my symptoms. It was actually more than one. It was two. And the morphine pump in my body. The amount of pain that I was in. I think that I was supposed to have checked out a long time ago. And I didn't even know what was wrong with me. That's why I said, you know what, I'm grateful, because a lot of people died and didn't even know what the freaking problem was. They had no idea of black ops programs and gang stalking and targeted individual stuff. You know? Can you imagine that? Going your whole life with just stuff, weird stuff like I was mentioning happening to you and you don't even know? I was young and my body was acting like I was freaking 80. And I was already recuperating from being an incest survivor, domestic stuff, rape, being an asshole myself. I thought that I could solve everything by just being, man, on top of the two paper bags full of medicine and the morphine pump in my body. I was trying to stay numb on top of that. Yeah. So there was drinking, you know, not consistently, but off and on. When I think about the things that I did, just because I didn't know that there was voice-to-skull technology, or there were street performancers, there was just this feeling that I had always had that something was wrong. But it wasn't verified, you know. So at 50, oh my gosh, I feel so I had to concentrate today on what I could be grateful for. I am so grateful that this vessel lasted this long for a reason, you know, and I learned a lot about energy healing and, well, you know, the stuff that we be checking out together and studying, you know. Wow, for another 100 years, 200, 500 years of study. I love information. Wow, that would be cool, right? Who knows what goodies I would find then. But, I'm going to stick with what I'm looking at right now. So, with the color and light and sound and us and how we are compositions of the creator, and just getting to know myself really, like the contradictions are just awesome. Good day, beloved. Hey, Ski. The contradictions are just awesome. When I was little, see, at 50, I'm starting to realize and appreciate how different I am. Like, okay, I can see that I'm a little different now. And I'm able to look back on my life and look at some things that are kind of interesting, like being 7 years old and, good day, beloved, analyzing, doing a psychological evaluation on the person that sexually abused me at 7 years old. Excuse me, sir. Do you think those pictures on your wall is what makes you do those things? Being willing to talk about it. How sick we are as a community, as a society, and how it has so much stuff inside. These are your friends, your sisters, your aunts, your teachers, your cousins, your sisters. These are your mama, your grandmas. People next to you have experiences, right? And we all handle this stuff in so many different ways. My life has been very freaking painful. Very painful. But today I'm so freaking grateful because I realized that there's so many things to still discover, and I am so grateful for the measure of grace that I've been under, knowing that despite how the opposition attempted to utterly destroy me, and how I thought I was lost so long ago, I'm actually kind of looking at the best of me now. It's so weird. It's really weird. And so, no, I don't feel my age except for the span that I can think back and look at my life. And I think of that little girl who knew so much and had to stuff it because children should stay in their place. And I think of the young woman, so attractive, but unarticulate, not articulate enough, but mouthy. I had an opinion, but I wasn't articulate, and I didn't have the wisdom or the length of time to be able to really compare what it was I was saying with a knowing force behind it. And got chopped up and beat down by those that were better than I when it came to managing egos and stuff like that, right? What a woman's place should be. Barefoot, pregnant, keep your mouth shut. Kind of like children are seen and not heard. Oh, yeah, my secret to being attractive and beautiful, that's what I'm getting at. That's all that I had, even though I was going through those issues years ago. Like, that's all that I had was my exterior, because that's what they taught me as a woman. From the time I was a child, I mean, the first thing I saw was that babysitter that molested me that I was left with. He wanted sex. My dad wanted sex. You guys seemed like you were something wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's cocaine and you're addicts and something just snaps, and that was the perception that I had. And it was wired wrong. I was set off by some spiritual thing. I was able to see in a place from being wired weird in that way. So that's all that I had. My whole 20s, my whole teens. I could not step out of the house unless I looked as good as this, just to go to the corner store. And I had the whole shebang. The lashes, the nails, well, I didn't do the lashes, but the nails, we weren't into the lashes at that time, that big. The eyebrows, the whole hair, the pedicure, man, you know what I'm saying? I was like that girl. That girl that when I see her, she reminds me of myself now. And no, I don't have those frills and the money for those frills, you know. My man was actually one of the biggest weed dealers at the time. So I liked the hustler with the money. And I was very shallow. And that's all that I had. And I fell apart. Because all that junk that I went through was still sitting inside of there. Like I said, I'm the girl next door. Your sisters, your mothers, your cousins. And today I'm 50 and you ask me, what is my beauty secret? Well, I was willing to actually want to be beautiful on the inside and not just on the outside. One of the things my mom used to say to me, because I guess I used to get on her nerves for always having to be GQ just to go to the corner store. And I always was in the mirror looking at, see, that's the secret, is not giving a blip to the point where I can actually snatch my wig off right now. Open up my mouth real wide and let you see my crooked teeth. I think I've done that on different occasions in clips, not all at once. I'd scare you. This is not the way I look when I wake up in the morning. But it's as beautiful as I am inside. And God knows. And that's why I'm still walking on 10 toes and able to use my arms and legs. And I feel, this is the way I feel inside. I feel a lot younger than I look even. And I feel odd because I look so young. And I look around and I see people my age that look like they've really been through it. But I looked like that before. And I'd really been through it. And there was times when I gave up and it just, for some reason, our Creator spared me. It just didn't work. Wasn't accomplished, you know what I'm saying? So I had to walk through my pain. And I walk through my pain every day being gang stalked. I walk through my pain every day with the predicament of my life situation. But I know that our Creator chose me to be this way for a reason. I'm in some time warp, some weird loop or something. But by design, that's what I'm supposed to be doing, is sharing my experiences with you on this conscious grid. So what I did was I stepped away from myself and I stepped into you. I allowed myself to get fat and have children and stop caring about the exterior. I put myself through every situation that would make me raw. I took my wig off and went into dance class as an older, overweight woman. I went to yoga class. See, I was a hermit. I had to make myself, get myself out of the house. That stuff had me so messed up. Image and people and all the freaking demons that they freaking put on us, that I was actually a shut-in, classified hermit. You could barely get me to go out of the house to go to a doctor's appointment or the grocery store. This was 30 years ago, 35 years ago. And I fought that. I went to school. I figured I'll leave the house to go learn something, and I went to college. And I slowly creeped out of, actually it wasn't that freaking long ago. I would like to make it that long ago. But I had been creeping myself out of the isolation about 10 years now. Less than, actually, honestly. School, I was in 2000, because I had to remember, click back 2010, 2012 frame, around the time when we had this weird, something happened in between 2010 and 2012 when it comes to time loops and warps, but that's a whole nother story. When I started studying with some friends and I met some cool scholars and stuff at this place called the Resistance, the Invisible College on the internet. And I was going to college at Naugatuck Valley Community College here in town. And raising my daughters, housewife, and very isolated. You could barely get me to go out of the house to go to a doctor's appointment or to go to the grocery store. And for years I was on those pain medications and stuff, going through that whole shebang, in and out of hospitals and stuff. They had me all messed up, thinking I would never get out of that freaking tunnel. This was all part of a government op to keep me from thinking for myself, because of the way that I'm wired into the consciousness grid, the way our ancestors have me plugged in via DNA. Today's my birthday. Groundhog. And I was born at 6/09, 1969. And I'm 50 years old today. And I think this has been the coolest part of my day, was watching these little children pop balloons at a 1-year-old's birthday party that has Alzheimer's. Not Alzheimer's, autism. Autism. Those freaking shots, man. Mandatory shots. Mandatory Russian roulette with your children. I did it too. But then when I learned about it, when I was studying, right? Studying all this different stuff. Creeping my way out of the house. I creeped my way out of the house. I went to school. I was still working my way. I went to therapy. Therapy, and worked through all my dark spots. All those ugly things. And I brought the stuff that was in the inside. And I pushed it on the outside. And instead of dressing up the outside to cover up the ugly and the hurt that I was feeling on the inside. So I let it all hang out. And just got ugly. Got fat. Got ridiculous. I isolated, like, I would, and my stupidity, I won't even say in my youth, because I'm still youthful, still vitality. And those days, before, yonder, I was so shallow. That's all that I had. That I was literally like, I don't care who you are, just show me the money. You know what I'm saying? The mentality. I went from the indoctrination of the television shows to still having my own personality and character, to still being the one to tell. I was still analyzing stuff. I was like, little mini MacGyver. I was the child who, my mom took me to work with her at the bank, and she said I set off the bank alarm. And that was the last time I could go to work with her. I was the child who picked your lock just to see if I could do it. I wasn't trying to hurt nothing. And I wouldn't admit that it was me, because I didn't realize that it was bad. I just wanted to see if I could do it. And this was like 9, 10. I took apart the toasters and the clocks and set everything down in order so that I could put it back together, because I knew my mom would whip my ass because I broke the clock and the toaster and whatever else I could take apart and put back together again. And I hope she's not watching this, because occasionally some things didn't work. And I ain't admit that either. person that could keep a secret is 50 years later. I just told them myself. Yeah, so all that forgiving. How do I do it? Forgiving. The way that I forgive is I know that I'm forgiving. I was so messed up that a child died that I was carrying, and that brought about a tremendous amount of pain, and all that shallowness and hurt that I was trying to cover up with drugs and alcohol and money. It couldn't cover up and mask that. Although at the time I had no idea that a lot of that had to do with the government op program and the voice to skull technology and the actual personality altering and stuff that they do. They can change you into pretty much whoever they want if you don't know who the freak you are. Manchurian candidate to the freaking power. They will fry you. And in between the frying and all the other stuff that happened, I lost a child. And I felt like I couldn't live with myself. And I named that child Angel Blue. And that child forgave me. The reason why I know that is because I'm still even now getting used to the spiritual gifts that I have. That child stayed with me. Weird things happened to me, like this guy, I wanted to go home, but I was a cute little teenager, and this guy was a Willie Avenue guard. And he was kind of intimidating and hung out with a little crew anyway. You know, to make a long story short, he got killed one night, and I was with him. And it bothered me mostly because the guy got killed. But he stole from his mother and his father and his sister. When he got in the car, he was a real pompous butthole. And I wanted to go home, but I couldn't really speak up for myself enough to just let it go. Because of the draw. Young, wild, and free, and supersonic. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know about government program, personality alteration, or any of that stuff. So anyway, I'm with this dude, and he's a guard at a jail, at a prison. So he's taking care of other inmates who get in trouble for probably doing a lot less than he's doing with me. And I think I was I underage or still a minor or whatever? Anyway, I didn't even mind. I was a young woman. And it was like 3 in the morning. Anyway, this guy gets shot in the head. And the bullet misses me. They keep shooting. But the first boy who went up to the car looked at me and stepped back. And his boy said, I told you to do it. I'm trying to tell you this stuff. I'm still here, y'all. And that ain't nothing compared to the jams that I've been in. I'm telling you this for a reason. So the other young boy came up, and bang, 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 it was done. So this guy that I was with, his foot went down on the gas pedal, and the car went speeding. But he had the car in reverse, so it went speeding backwards. But it went speeding backwards into right this far away from a gas tank. And lucky I was skinny, and I was... And it was barely eating, y'all, because I just squeezed out of that little space. And that was our ancestors with their hand on me. Despite what they try to get you into doing and being. I was always that one that was in the middle of some stuff and always telling on her. I would tell on myself. Not about the little things that I took apart, like locks and things like that. But about other things that hurt. Okay? That guy that died, even though I didn't like him and didn't really know him, he stayed with me. He wouldn't leave me alone. He died, and then he was haunting me. That was one of my That wasn't my first encounter. My first encounter with a spirit ghost or whatever, I was a little girl. I'm not going to go, but it happened to me. Do you see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that I'm sure that this child is my child that covers me. One of the things that covers me is my own child because of what they did to me. There was a loss of a child. And that child is one of the spirits that covers me, along with the other children that were martyred. That child, Angel Blue. That child, when you do certain things in your life and you go through certain things, there becomes this place where you can't hide if you want to do like this. If you really want to look in your eyes again and look at other people again and look at your children in the eyes and like really feel deep inside. I was going for the core. The core, the core, the core. Do you know where I came from? I told you. At 7, I was analyzing the pedophile. Did those pictures of the women from the porn magazine you have on your wall, followed him to his room, didn't go in it, because it was a rooming house that my parents had us in New Haven, and asked him, is that what makes you do it? You know what I'm saying? The guard, he was a Whaley Avenue guard. I told him I want to go home. I don't want to do this anymore. But he was so mouthy and so cocky and so affiliated. I felt I had to stay. Plus, I was a crackhead, so why not, right? It's freaking 3 in the morning. I'm wired. But everything in me was screaming, go! Go home! And I said, I want to go home. And he was cocky and ornery. He even, in the middle of nowhere, I'm going in the house and go get money. He goes in the house to go get money and comes back and tells me he stole from his own freaking mama, sister, and father. No. I would have got out of the car right there, but this guy is already like he's a freaking guard over top of other freaking people who probably did a lot less. Are you serious? And I'm just maybe no more than 18, I would say. I'm not sure around the time that happened. But it was more like this male dominant, domineering thing. And I was there. And I was there because I needed to get what I needed to get because I was caught up in the sauce. And that was my lifestyle at the time. And I thought I was the crud. Oh, but I was so cute. I was so cute. I never left without my hair and nails done. Never. The outside was covering up the stuff on the inside. And I felt so old and burdened and laid down. All that stuff I had to pull up. But because of the willingness, I'm telling you, I don't know how many therapists I freaking went to. I don't know how many hospitals I was in and out of. I don't know how many freaking prayers I said. Asking God to forgive me. Trying to figure out who God was. Snotting and crying and whatever I had to do. Didn't want to take that with me. To the point where I emptied the inside, but didn't know what the fuck it was. Excuse me. Didn't know what it was inside. And could no longer face the outside anymore without all the stuff on. Tonight I was somewhere where black folks that look good, with the gear and stuff and the glasses, boy, it was fly. They look good, the hair, everything. And I feel so generic because, this, and I don't press this, and I don't, you know what I'm saying? I really work hard at not entertaining this, and that's one of the freaking reasons why. I already been there. But the way that I got there wasn't how I wanted to be plugged in. The limos and the condos. That wasn't how I wanted to be plugged in, was because of how cute I am. And so I went through like this eye of the needle. And I pulled all that stuff out. and I'm able to talk about it and look at you and, you know, see, so the garbage is on the outside, not in the inside. I'm able to tell you. Thank you. I look amazing because my ancestors, our ancestors told me that that's what they wanted for you. So that you know that they're real. There's a frequency that we have, us ex-hustlers or still hustlers, players, pimps, hoes, prostitutes, ministers, healers, the wounded healers, the teachers, the mamas. All mamas don't have perfect children. All daddies don't have perfect children. And we all have a past. And we all don't come from something that's sparkly. Like the kind of people I saw today. They were so cute. There are all these little, they look like the cleanest, cutest little black people I ever saw. They were all just like tailored. They were all just like, put me to shame, but I'm always trying to make sure that my stuff isn't sliding around anymore. I've really gotten out. I was like, I am so out of the practice of that Gucci thing that I used to do, where everything had to be so fab. You weren't looking for anything that was wrong with me in the inside. I had you at, hi baby. But I was so like, ugh, the inside. And the inside. And so yeah, that's how I do it, is by following the mandate. So that dude got killed that night. And I was haunted by him for I don't know how long, which ended up with me, wow, in a hospital stay. And I'm thinking about this government program and stuff, and I've been thinking back on it, like perhaps that whole thing was a setup to begin with. That whole thing could have been a setup to begin with. But definitely after that man was killed, you know, someone might have blamed a young girl, just like I was blamed in the past for things that grown man did. Blamed for grown man's weaknesses, not for a young woman's stupidity or her own weakness or shallowness that was indoctrinated into her. No, we won't fix that. We'll just kick her to the curb and we'll help the grown-ass man. Her, she can't get anything. Kick you to the curb and we'll help you spread your legs open a little more. Give you a Band-Aid. That's what I saw. I have more children. I have, Obadala. I hope I said your name right, Brown. I have a 30-year-old daughter who's struggling with the same freaking things that I went through. She's still in the hospital and can't seem to get very far away from it before she has an episode, a psychotic break, which ends up back in the hospital. No lawyers and no money to help break that. It's part of the gang stalking program because of her DNA. She comes from me. And her birthday is 8/8/87. So she's on a star date. They like to keep her up in there. I'm having memories and stuff like that about things that they did to me in the hospital and things from the past, just like this memory with this guard. Making more connections. Now, the more I learn about this gang stalking program and that book, Project Soul Catcher, and check out Anthony Patch with his information. Thank you. I'll have a wonderful weekend. I'm, you know what? This is one of the best parts of my day. I work at hearing that inner voice, and I'm serious about that inner voice. And I told you those stories to let you know just how serious I am about that inner voice. But for years, I pushed it away because I didn't know what it was. I had nobody to tell me that, you know. And I mean, who wants to see somebody die? And then that guy was so freaking real. It freaked me out. As real as you and me here, but I mean, were they doing something to my brain at the time, or, you know, I mean, because that apparition was so vivid. You know, I haven't had enough experiences around other people like myself who see spirits and ghosts and things like that to talk about it. You know, have these, you know, like it was regular conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like you would if you were in a community where that was regular. Or you knew somebody that you could, you know, girl, did you see that? Or did you experience in that? Like other healers and things like that, where you normally just go back and forth. But I've had experiences my entire life. And when my child died, I was out one night and I was trying to get something pregnant. And this woman pushed me down a flight of stairs, and I thought something was wrong. I went to the hospital. They sent me home and said that I wasn't in labor, but I knew something was wrong, and I sat in my freaking room and I knew something was wrong, and my child died, and I named her Angel Blue. And I was thankful, like when I did go into labor and the ambulance did come. I mean, I was really messed up, y'all. I was really messed up. I could not freaking see. What tree? What freaking forest? I could only see the cloud. The big freaking cloud that I was trying to make to cover up the freaking pain that I was in, of incest and rape and physical abuse and mental abuse and not understanding the way things are. I come from a family, like, you know, hurt people, and they were hurt. And I didn't really understand that, although I tried to love past it. But then somewhere along the line, even if you try to love those people, those hurt people who hurt people, it eventually rubs off on you and you got to deal with it. So rather than pile a whole bunch of stuff on the outside, it's better to pull it out and find ways. That's my journey, is to find ways to deal with it. I do Qigong and Tai Chi, and find ways to make it more important for me to be connected to spirit and the life source energy that sustains us all, than for me to be plugged into you, because that's just the way it is with me. If I try to plug in with you, I'm totally gonna, you know, I really don't know too much what that is, as I've been explaining to you. You know, I went from being severely abused to trying to plug in and being derailed, to try to plug in and being derailed, but I'm a fighter. And our ancestors, they cover me with spiritual guidance if I listen, if I don't push them away. See, society told me that's weird, don't do that. So I went to church and I went to institutions, and they told me that there was something wrong with me. I was crazy. They also told me that I was a whore and a drug addict. But don't worry, that was all before I was an adult. I'm being funny. They'll cast labels on you. They'll cast labels on you, because they don't want you to think. They tell you, stay barefoot and pregnant and keep your mouth shut. Oh, but they'll give you drugs to help you do that. They'll give you all the drugs you want to help you do that. But what you need to feel beautiful inside is to talk about it and to be accepted. And so I talk about it, I wouldn't feel accepted. Until I could plug in here. Even now, knowing the state of things in the world, that not everybody is going to get it, how freaking deep and raw that I must be for myself to then plug in with you here first. I do believe that it's going to work. I see it happening around me. I'm just kind of skipping around. I get frustrated. You know what I'm saying? I get frustrated. I hear all these people talking about love and acceptance and flowers and change and all this stuff that I've been talking about, and I hear it. I hear the echo. But I'm like, how you get the words out of my mouth and it missed me? You missed me with my own words. Like, I know you heard me say it. Can you at least say hello? Give a like, share, something. That's the way you get beautiful. And you tell other people they're beautiful. You don't mind other people being beautiful. What's up, beautiful? Thank you for telling me I'm wise. I don't feel so wise. There's certain things that I haven't figured out yet, and they make me feel quite stupid. But I'm wise enough to at least admit that. Because I know that my Creator's listening. I saw so many people live and they died and they didn't even know that they were targeted individuals. They didn't know they were being human trafficked. They didn't know they were being derailed. They didn't know that they were part of the carnage that was being benched and set aside. You don't get to play in the game, and you don't even realize that you don't get to play in the game. See, there were these secret organizations and these people derailing us. Thank you, beloved. They want you to see what you see. Our ancestors, our great Father. There's a multitude of spirits. That's why they call it Legion, and not in an evil way. You are a freaking Legion. You are fire, water, earth, air, and ether. They want you to be scared as ish to even say that word, because they don't want you to know what you are, why they use it, why they stick a pine cone up your Washington, D.C. courtyard. Have you walk past it, not even see our own pineal gland. Symbols and stuff. Saturated with our own symbols and things that we used to use that were about embedding and about reminding us about who we are and spiritual principles and things. Now, I'm not saying things didn't go wrong, because, yeah, obviously, you can get addicted to anything. You can use anything to run away from something else. But I'm learning on what to choose, that I can choose better. I've been so utterly broken down. I'm not going to save face with you. If it comes to that, if you want me to do that, you see how alone I am? Like, I just can't do it. Just look for a real person. I'm like, still learning how to deal with the energies that our ancestors gave me, and it's not easy. But I'm grateful. And they want you to see them. We have voice recognition now that can tell if you're lying. The government can. If you had that technology, you could tell. If I was lying, if I was insecure, if I was unsure. If you were learned what the biggest technologies that they have out now is about learning about people, and the technologies they can read you now. Okay, so they can figure out how to exploit you. They don't care if you're lying. They just want to know how to get you to lie more so they can exploit you. The person that's not doing it is the one that they're worried about. That they, you know what I'm saying? to beat my own freaking BS meter. That's what I want to do. That's hard to do. Because I think I'm lying about everything. Am I really 50? I gotta check. Did I really make it? Am I really alive after all that stuff? Do I really want to be plugged into this? Man, I come so close to the edge, like, you know, this stuff that we're made of is so, they say it's elusive, but we need a better word. How could it be elusive if we're made of it? And like, you can touch yourself and you can breathe it. It's like these words that we're locked into there, they don't really define, like fear. It doesn't really define. You go on a roller coaster and you feel the adrenaline. But for me, that's fear. I don't freaking like roller coasters. Do you call it adrenaline when you like it? Like, I know I'm nitpicking. But anyway. I feel like a teenager. I feel like I've been looping in and out of time, and I have been. More things are coming back, and I know the more that I get plugged into other people like myself and can get settled, you know what I'm saying, where I can be more at peace, more at ease, then I would be able to study easier. See, the stuff that I've been bringing to you and I've been going through via bad relationship, being stalked in the city, without the proper resources, right, to be able to get, you know, there's roots and herbs and tools and crystals and things that you can do to your environment to rig it, that I'm more than willing to show you, family, when I have the means to do it. And then as I learn how to do the stuff to safeguard myself, whether it's spiritual or I learn some kind of other organic technology, whether it's crystals or making force fields, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's teaching about the colors and the frequencies and the vibrations or the history or sharing the spirituality that they give us. Whatever it is that you allow, when I grow, you grow. You know? When they tell me to do something, when our ancestors ask me to move, I really work hard at being obedient, and sometimes I still want to hide. You know, it's not as easy as it looks to just bring your, you know, the truest self that you can muster up. You know, the most honest face, the most rawest face that I can bring to you. You know what I'm saying? Without pulling too much off where it becomes unattractive. I think it's that movie, I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker, where there was a scene where this lady's in a, oh man, there was this comedy scene. I'm trying to remember the comedian. Keanu Wayne's, I'm not sure. But there's a scene in a bar where he says, I got a secret to tell you. This is not real. And I think he pulls off his hair or his beard or something. His beard wasn't real or something. And she said, hey, baby, I got to tell you something, too. No, I'm not going to do it, though. She says, my hair is not real either. She takes her hair off. And she says, and she takes her boobs off, and everything was on the table. Her butt, she was taking legs off. It was a really funny skit. But sometimes, just to say, you could be too honest. You know what I'm saying? Don't put it all on the table all the time. Jim Carrey, I think it was in Living Color skit. I don't think it was Jim Carrey though. It was one of the black guys. I think it was one of the Wayne's brothers who did that skit. But it was really funny. Yeah. All right, so I'm 50. I feel like I did something wrong. Like, what does it feel like? Am I supposed to, like, 50 people that are 50 don't do flips and wah! Wah! I don't know. I don't know. Usually I'm pretty much sitting around either listening to an informational video, I'm learning something, I'm looking to see if I have another wrinkle or if there's a bump like from Morgellons. That Morgellons stuff. I know, right? He's laughing at me. You put it ha 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 ha. Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking to see if Morgellons is catching up with me and trying to figure out how I can get money to be able to combat Morgellons and try different stuff. I'm like, there's a pimple and I'm not going through puberty. Or am I? No, I'm not. I'm not. Anyway, I had a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to doing this other challenging thing, which is getting out of my own way and getting to know you in person. Sometimes that's irritating. I'm very short-tempered for BS. If you're cool, I'm like, I'll stay like this. I'll get on your nerves. I'll be all smiley and like, can I help? Can I? But if you're a butthole, I'll be like, okay, that's it for today, folks. That's it. So I switch up on you. I'm like, hot ice, icy hot. But that stuff smells bad. I smell better. Yes, it's a very serious look. Yes, that's the look I give to my husband. He's probably not laughing. He can hear me laughing. He doesn't like me. It's okay. I don't like him either. Alrighty then. Yeah, so happy birthday to me. Thank you, everybody, for the birthday, happy birthday wishes. I'm so, so grateful. Oh, I enjoyed you too. Thank you. Forgiveness. Forgiveness. Beautiful, beautiful. Forgiveness. I felt so bad. Back to Angel Blue. I felt so bad and so broken. And our ancestors, they're so good, so good, so good. I had to want to heal, repent. I had to want to change those things that I had did that were so freaking horrible. I was so utterly broken. Didn't want to show my face like a vampire. Ha, ha, hiding in the dark and shoving all these freaking contaminants into my body, into my face, and not wanting to come out into the light and yada yada. I already told you that story. And then one fine day, I was sitting here smoking on a Newport when a cloud floated by. And I saw these leaves on a tree blowing. And there was no TV outside, so I was watching the tree blowing in the wind on psychiatric medications, smoking my cigarette, shaking. I made it outside. Like got an outside pass. And the cloud said, they're going to kill you. If you keep listening to those people, they're going to kill you. They don't know what they're doing. Guys, stop taking that freaking Prozac. I think the cloud is talking to me. Or is it the tree? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Ma! Listen to the cloud. Ma, I forgive you. Ma, it's your baby. No, for real though, it sounds like a song, right? Ma, it's your birthday. Ma, no, it was my child. And I'm talking about brokenness. I'm talking about believing all that stuff that they tell you in the church, like you're a sinner. Like there's no coming back from that. I already felt like I was a whore from the time I was a child when the pedophile got to me, right? It's everything is your fault. It's because of my aura. You know what I'm saying? I'm just, the universe picked me. It's her. She was born that way. That's why they all just pin their tail on the donkey. But I didn't ask for it. So I couldn't figure it out. I had no freaking idea what the book was going on. And a lot of this is ancestral. Okay? It's just part of them keeping us from waking up. There's people who know who the freak we are and that we're waking up. And my child, the spirit on the other side, knew my pain. And the same way that I was seeing spirits before, and I was trying to suppress this ability to be able to see spirits. I wasn't trying to see jack, but another rock, another drink, another cigarette. Anything to get away from the pain of people having their hands on me and abusing me and seeing things and just feeling like an open sore. My personality is a sponge because I'm empathic and clairvoyant. And so much be coming at me. Just being. And you walk into a room, it feels like I'm getting hit. When I first walk in there, it's like, and I gotta like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't realize chi. What is chi energy? And kundalini. And personality. And spirituality. And our ancestral energy. And the monsoons. And fire, water, earth, air, and ether. It's all the energy that we turn into. It's us. And that other side, ain't nobody die and come back to tell you nothing. They're still waiting for Houdini to say something. I was believing that. And ignoring our ancestors. And they really socked it to me. I am not to ignore them. Nor am I putting it on blast that I'm always hearing them, though. But like minds will end up together, hopefully, if I just, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing the best that I can under the circumstances, and I'm learning each day, so they show me. Because it's really by the skin of my teeth, you know? The hair on my chinny chin chin. I do have one hair. One. It's not there right now. But I have this one hair. It always makes me laugh. The gods have a sense of humor. Who gives you one hair? Now, I've seen women with some stubble. You know what I'm saying? I got enough to talk about. It's like, yeah, I got some hormone stuff going on. I got some stubble. But you give a chick one freaking hair. What is that? One hair. And overnight, it grows like 4 inches. It's like this long. It's not there now. But out of the blue, poof, one hair. So I just kind of pull it out when that happens. Yeah. I don't think it's too much of a hormonal issue because I'm pretty girly. Pretty much. Yeah, so my baby stayed with me. Angel. Angel Blue. And all that pain that I went through and confusion about things that were hidden, that were not seen to me yet. My third eye wasn't open. I was still listening to the lies and in the pain. And she forgave me, told me she forgave me, and told me she forgave me in the same way that I forgave my dad. And I really knew what that meant. Because I loved my dad. But he hurt me because he was a pedophile. Sometimes you do things that you cannot take back in this world. You hurt people like drunk drivers, like pedophiles, like my dad, like me, who went out one day to get another cloud and got pushed down a flight of stairs that set a chain of events in action where I lost a baby messing around with clowns. And I can't say that it was places that I should have never been, because I wouldn't have met those people who turned me on to the dark side, helped me grow up, helped me to be able to see things a little different. My brothers and sisters. Alright, so I got a dark side. That's why, Via, I can understand you. I have two sides. One side that likes to jump into the most decrepit stuff when I'm hurting and I'm in pain and I feel guilt and shame. So rather than hurt people, I invert and do things to hurt myself further. You know what I'm saying? Like that person who commits suicide, but before they do it, they fantasize about the funeral and how upset people will be and the conversations they'll have, and oh well. That's an inverted ego. That's ego inverted. Because you realize if they don't give a blip now, they ain't going to give a blip then. They'll even give a blip less because you won't be around to say anything, do anything, change anything. And sometimes that feels really good. It sounds comforting. But that's not what our ancestors have in mind for me. So I gotta just chill and wait for them to work on our behalf, because you're the other part of me. And the stuff that they give me, like the insights and stuff like that, is a weird balance, right? Some of the stuff that I'm going through can only be balanced with other people that are into what I'm dealing with. It makes me have to at least look for potential people to get to know, or at least look at people like myself to find out more stuff, to be more accepting of who I am. As far as spiritual gifts are concerned. So other shaman and other energy healers and other you know, people who are into the kind of stuff that we're into. It's easy to hold on to hurt and pain. But I guess I went through, you know, the gang stalking stuff and them programming my personality to be so decrepit. I can say that it was beneficial to me, and the point where it's like I've seen the best of times and worst of time. It's The Tale of Two Cities, that book, you know what I'm saying? Tale of Two Cities. I know both those sides. And I guess I'm right where I'm supposed to be. If you're too uppity to know both sides or can't accept one or the other, then I don't belong there. I belong on the part that can see both. a more rounded perspective of life and our healing process and forgiveness, retribution. I live around the people that target me, that hit me with energy weapons, that lie in my face, that do street performances, that take personal items, that do things that set me off and frustrate the years of progress that I have made being away from feeling mentally unstable due to, do you know what I'm saying? Just not even knowing why. You know? How many people were derailed just thinking that they were crazy? I'm not saying that every person that has a diagnosis of mental illness or something is a part of the government's gang stalking program. That's not what I'm saying. There's people with problems, and there are real imbalances and things that happen. You know, from a person that studies psychology and behavioral modification and sociology and anthropology and stuff like that. I love to study these systems, different systems. What I'm saying is, there's a difference between people who have chemical imbalances that just come about because of their genetic design or circumstances that happen in their life that were natural, and people that are steered into that direction because people steered them there with hardships deliberately, or electronic frequencies, you know, or voices. Check out Voice of God technology, Voice to Skull technology, satellite brain reading technology. All this stuff, you can Google all that all day. If I made it up, why is it there? You know what I'm saying? I have personal experiences with these things, and these are the things that they have given me a strong personality to be able to tell you. Do you realize how horrible that is? To freaking live your life not knowing that you were freaking derailed? You just thought you were freaking butthole? I caught this. Caught it because I was determined to change. It wasn't too hard for me. I didn't want to look away. I didn't want to take their deferment and say, oh, well, I'm just a horrible person. I'll be that way my entire life. I'll just do this over here and won't look. I did the best I could with what I had. And it's going to stay that way. No. I did the best I could with what I have, and I'm always changing to do better every day, working on it. Working on it. I know that I'm dirty, got the stuff that I got to fix inside. I know that that stuff that they got coming at us, all these different mind programs, all these different indoctrinations, all these different profiles and stuff, boxes and you know what I'm saying, ways that we have of looking at each other, all that stuff makes us sick, you know. And at some point, that's the stuff that makes us ugly. You know what I'm saying? We're no longer looking at each other for what's inside. Oh, well, aren't they a shiny button inside? Man, they're cute. That's a beautiful person. Like this. That's a beautiful person. She's a beautiful freaking person. She's a beautiful. Beautiful, man. I say. Why is she beautiful? Why? Beautiful. It's a beautiful freaking person. Can you see the light shining underneath all the freaking crap that we put on? You know? And the skin and the gender. There's a light in here that's talking to you. That's where I need to get at. That's the message that our ancestors are portraying to you. And that's the space that's most important for me to be. Is here. Rather than out there. Because they saved me. We're so sick and not used to the unusual. We're not used to ourselves. And I'm not even used to exactly being myself in the entirety, because, you know, we would scare the heck out of each other, right? If we just peeled all our skin off and showed our lights. Just came out with our lights on. Hello. Turn that light off. Trying to rest. Too rambunctious. Sometimes people have personalities like that. Anyway. I'm just really, really, really freaking grateful to be able to even find the words to be able to say any of this. And most of all, to find someone, people that I can connect to, that can even, like, you're understanding it, like you're getting it. You know what I'm saying? That's the part that I need to hold on to, is that's the forgiveness. All the pain and hurt. It didn't even have to be you. It's just the disposition that it happened and carrying that around. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm working on. To let that go. So that I can still smile. How do you do that? Like, you know, all these different dynamics can make it so difficult. You know, gang stalking can make it seem like you don't know who to trust. But I said, please, Creator, if I have to live, at least let me have you. Let you be real. I'll do whatever it takes. Whatever it takes to have that be real, that's got to be real for me. If that's all that I've got, man. So every day, that's the realest thing to me. Because I was dead a long time ago. With all the things that happened to me. And the world that we call life. It wasn't worth anything to me. The one that I was given. But when I listened to the inner voices in our ancestors, I found the truth. Because I was given that opportunity, because I kept looking for a way to get better and to clean out all that garbage. And like I said, you know what I'm saying, I went to the church, I went to the institutions, and they weren't able to help me vindicate myself. They weren't able to help me feel free. I feel like something was still on me. And I know a lot more now about spiritual energies and stuff than I did before. Those were demonic presences that, you know what I'm saying, that the Vatican be trying to put on you and bombard you with, that spiritual energies, demons, that they defer onto you, that we indoctrinate through the images. We say, I want to be Denzel with the gun, you know what I'm saying, on training day. That bad MFA, bang, bang. I can relate to that MFA, bang, bang. I grew up with them around me. Said pimps, hustlers, killers, players, prostitutes, whores, hustlers. Money is what makes the world go round. And all of them, ministers, teachers, I mean, all the people who had their hands in the dirt clean up real nice, as long as they had Gucci. As long as their nails were done. As long as they had the fresh cut and the gold, the bling bling. They could do whatever they choose to. They could kill Joe Blow down the street and put on bling bling or flash the wallet, and it would all just disappear like they never did anything. It was a certain kind of disposition that certain things, like, it was like, well, what happened here? What happened? What just happened here? Didn't you just see what they just did? Don't you know who that is? Don't you know what the Pope did? Don't you know what so-and-so did? Nobody cares. Nothing you can do about it. Carry along. Move along. Move along. But somebody without that, we can lash out at that. Because that's the one we can get them. We can get them. That's easy. Let's get them. And that's what we do. And when I learned that about myself and about us, it's more important that when I close my eyes for the last time, that I really major need for that to be like always in my presence forever, a part of me. Not just because I put on some robes and stepped in front of a crowd, but always in front of it forever, right now. In my deepest pain and in my as much joy, can I bring you with me, Creator? Can I bring you with me, God? Are you in my heart? When I look at others, when I look in my eyes, can I, even if I'm not up to par, if I admit that I'm not up to par, at least I'm taking responsibility for me, and I'm not putting me onto you. I know that's me. I'm really not with it today. I'm not up to par. Not that I don't like him. I don't like her. They just give me the creeps. No, you give yourself the creeps. You got the creeps inside of you. We want the creeps. We want to watch the movies and the shows and take part. I watch how we enjoy the 7 deadly sins. We want to wear the jealousy. We want to be the gossiper. We want to be the person who won't speak to the person unless they have their hair done. Won't give them the time of day unless their teeth is whiter than snow. Can't even have a conversation with people. You'll never find out that that's a beautiful person. They're never gonna know. Never. You missed something really good. We could have 50 years together. No, but you wanted, you know what I'm saying? You wanted Gucci, baby. So you got that. I am so glad that I let those things go. Although I want some of it back now. I could use just a little bit of tailoring, don't you think? Just a little bit, since we're going to be speaking to each other and everything. Since we're going to be meeting like this. And you're all so cute, you know what I'm saying? You're so cute. Just a little bit, I think, for you and for me, I'm bringing a little bit more balance here. So at 50, I'm glad that we're still in really good condition. Remember to honor your body. As in, not your body in an egotistical way, but your body as the vessel that carries the tools of the Creator. That you even have the opportunity, one freaking opportunity in your life to have this conversation with one freaking person. This is fabulous. Just bring your true self to one freaking person and make a ripple, one freaking drop. And let that true part of yourself not be a freaking butthole. Or if it is, that it's mutually beneficial. If you need to be the butthole, bring it. But let it be for a really, really good reason. You know what I'm saying? Try. It doesn't happen all the time. Sometimes it's just a butthole, but I'm working on it. Yeah. Forgiving myself while I'm learning. There's a method to the madness. There's a measure. Because it's not really madness. You know what I'm saying? Chaos is only chaos before it's recognized. What? Calling it chaos. That's us. That's our ancestors. It's us. My casa su casa is us. We can be crazy. We got all that inside. How many of us passed away without even realizing what was happening to us? And then get to the other side. Baby girl said, Ma, they messing you up. Look here, look here. The ancestors inviting my grandmothers and Julia Ann Martin, Johnny Bell Sharp, and Julia Claire Frazier. Mwah, 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 mwah. Grandmas. My grandmas. My great-great-great-grandmama. My great-great-grandmama. And my grandma. Talking to me. And the children. Along with Marcus Garvey. I'm in the whirlwind waiting on. Waiting on. Okay. Yeah. Yes! I'm live! I think. Yeah, I don't smell anything. Yeah, I'm live. I haven't spoiled yet. I'm 50, but I'm live! Anyway, I think I just don't want to be by myself. I'm having so much fun. Forgiveness. Forgiveness. When I knew that my ancestors were really talking to me and they really did forgive me, and that the stuff they were telling me was really true, because it was freaking, I got confirmation over the years, tons and tons and tons. So I had learned so much and changed and changed and changed and changed again. Through all that work that I had did and their system that didn't work, and I didn't know why that it wasn't working, to switching to a different system and allowing the ancestors to speak to me and seeing through their system and what the freak they did to me via gang stalking targeted individual on her 50th birthday, looking fabulous, where I was supposed to be gone a long time ago. And every day is a struggle. Yeah, we went 5D, quantum, D-wave computers, and all the other technologies. Look up those words that I said. If you don't understand something that I said, and I said something like satellite brain reading technology, and you don't know what the frick is she talking about, she's so funny, she must be crazy. Am I really? Am I? Am I? Go look it up. I dare you. Go look it up. Go look it up. Grandma told you, go look it up. I'm a grandma. I'm a grandma now. Alright, so I'm still trying to straighten out my life, still working on fixing things. Still working on changing things. There's a space that I can only step into as it arrives. Like, this really weird freaking space. Like, I just keep learning, and sitting. And I mean, I would probably pull all my hair out if it wasn't for human design. And the confirmation that I get from correspondences that when I'm sitting there like this, like, you know, I've been waiting for a long time, and I feel like that gate passed. Like it said that, you know, I was supposed to be a winner so long ago. But how am I measuring the wins? You know what I'm saying? What I measure as a win, I've learned, is not the same thing as what our ancestors measure as a win. And so I'm still learning what that looks like, in the same way that I thought a win meant money and the exterior, that your looks on the outside meant a win, and went through years of just rebuilding my inside. So I tore it all down. And as you see me where I will wear my scarf, no makeup, and my most comfortable clothes and stuff, just chilling to talk to you, because it's most important that I bring, that I'm in tune. The same way you wear certain chakra colors to help you correspond and balance the frequency of that particular color. In the same way that I learned that when you strip away all the exterior stuff that we can hide behind, right? It helps us vibrate on the other frequency, the more natural frequency. My insides helps to vibrate when you cut away all the other stuff. Now, I'm bringing those things that because of the balance of my female nature and my personality, it's actually kind of uncomfortable bringing this part and just the talking. So I was displaying it in other ways where I do, you know, the qigong, my qigong and stuff like that, with the dancing and the therapeutic dance. Some of that you see my femininity go in there. But I guess, like I said, it's important now that I have some balance. So I'm doing a little bit of it with the makeup and the hair and stuff like that. But you know, like, bear with me, because I'm intimidated by you guys, because you're just so freaking fabulous and Gucci all the time, and your fashion sense is just like, that's your superpower. Oh my god, I'm so out of practice, and I don't think I'm going to be getting my nails done, toes and stuff like that. So, you know, I don't know how far I'm willing to go with it, but I don't think I did too bad today. Okay, yeah, I'm out. I'm being goofy now and just turned into a total girl. Yeah, that's enough for me. Much love to you and yours. This is Regina's Rabbit Hole. It's my 50th birthday. Thank you for all the birthday wishes. Much love to you and yours. I'm out.